character of Job is shaped in misfortune. Here's a classic line from chapter 19, verse 25 to 27. As for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. And after my body has decayed, yet in my body I will see God. I will see him for myself. Yes, I will see him with my own eyes. I'm overwhelmed at the thought. Wow. You know, I think the hardest lesson you have to learn in your life is submission to the will of God. To just submit yourself and to the idea of saying, God knows best. It's really tough. And if you think about it, even Jesus had to come to that point of saying, not my will, but yours be done. The thing is that God teaches us things through every chapter of our life, but he teaches us most through our pain and through our sorrow. And it's such a tough lesson. No one goes into that lesson willingly or cheerfully. We're a stubborn lot, aren't we? And we're so stubborn, particularly on that one. We don't want to learn through the things that go wrong. And the book of Job is a record of that struggle, the struggle between the flesh and the spirit in our lives. We have this record of Job's thoughts and his longings, and it's such an ancient record. Some people say that this is the oldest book of the Old Testament. Isn't that interesting? But if that's so, it's so up to date as well, so graphic, so true. And that tells you that this isn't fiction. This is drawn from real life events in somebody's life. Somebody who'd received blow after blow. One day this guy is a society bigwig, a father, he is a prosperous man, and almost the next day, blow after blow descends on him. He becomes childless, blighted, ruined in his body, in his society, in his health, in his spirit. He is wrecked. And you know that's where we live, isn't it? We live there. We live there. That life has a way of pulling the carpet from under us, and you cannot guarantee a smooth ride of infinite prosperity. It just doesn't happen. Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble. Now he said more than that, but Job's experiences relates to the first part of that. And so the book of Job is a long, hard look into darkness. Okay, why has all this stuff happened to me? Have I sinned? Is God punishing me? And his friends come to offer their condolences, and they trot out all the cliches. And even then in this ancient document, they were cliches. They were still the usual stuff. It was like sticking a plaster on top of a bullet wound. It didn't do any good. It didn't deal with the inner confusion, the usual stuff. And they just make things worse. So in chapter 19, Job does a little kind of flip. He turns from this human tribunal that's gathered around him, and he turns to God's tribunal. He starts to argue his case before God. And he says this, he says, I know that my Redeemer lives. It's like he's peering through the mist and he sees something solid at the back of it, and he says, I know that my Redeemer lives. And he's moving from his confusion to a point of truth. It's like finding a rock on which to stand when everything around him is sinking and desperate. And the word Redeemer means a champion. I know my champion lives. It's almost like he's in a court and he says, I know I have a living attorney. I have somebody on my side who will argue my case. Someone who will stand up for me. And his point is this, that God is involved. No matter what the circumstances look like, no matter how bleak it seems, no matter how harsh the conditions, God is involved. That was a powerful insight, isn't it? A powerful insight. All those thousands of years ago. God is involved. He is involved now. And then, get this, he says, and he will be involved at the end. In the latter day, he will take his stand upon the earth. My Redeemer lives. And the word involved is crucial because it means this. It means that God is personal. That this isn't chance or fate. It's not the random concatenation of atoms. It's a living God. A living God. And that living God is the breathing centre of Old Testament and New Testament religion. The fact that God is alive and personal, that he knows me. And he stresses that, I will see him. My eyes, I shall know for myself. I will see it. To be truly alive is to know that livingness of God. And once it's arrived, everything changes. You see me, Lord, and you know me. Psalm 139, where it says, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And the first reaction to his grief in Job's life is to reach out for a God who is alive. Isn't that good news? Okay, we'll come back to it. God bless you.